Hi, this is Lee, and those are the miniatures from Horizon Zero Dawn, the board game made by Steamforged Games. I've received the core books a while now, and spent quite some time on painting those miniatures. Regarding the detail of the miniatures, I've seen better ones. Those are not the best miniatures I've seen so far, and they can definitely not compare to the original 3D rendering from the video game. There's too much difference there. There are tons of details missing from the original 3D render to those miniatures. Yet they are alright. They are still good enough as tabletop miniatures. They look detailed enough, and then with some paint job you can make it look quite nice on tabletop. Well, by now I should pretty much finish most of the machines, but I mean finished. When I say finished, I don't mean like 100% finished, because I never actually 100% finished any of those miniatures, because there's too many details and I just couldn't be bothered painting every single part of it. And so those miniatures are painted, they are just looking all right on tabletop, and then that's enough. I'll just leave it there. Those are not like super detailed resin miniatures, and then I am not treating this miniature painting as a proper project. They're just for board games, so those are not super high level finished for display purpose. Those miniatures for fun. So I finished the Watcher, Scrapper, Strider, Shell Walker, Sawtooth. So all the machines are finished. I didn't paint Hunters because they're kind of too small. It's 28mm scale, and they're alright in Horizon Zero Dawn board game, but they don't really fit my other character miniatures. So I just couldn't be bothered painting them, and they're small. Anyway, I've primed all the miniatures in black first, and then applied another white primer on top of it to simulate the light and shadows in advance to paint those miniatures. It's, let's say, easier to figure out which part gets highlights, which part gets the shadows first, and then you actually start to paint it. That'll be easier. And by the way, they look already nice with those white black scale color. It looks already good enough with that. Obviously you still want to apply some colors on it. One thing to notice, because of the pose of those miniatures, you may want to spend time to check the primer, because a lot of parts you can't really get primed on the first time. I have to prime twice on those shell workers, but anyway, I primed all those in black and then applied another white on top of it. So this video I have the painting process on the scrapper, and I believe I also have some showcase of all other painted miniatures. Yes, so Wizard, I think this is the lowest quality of all those miniatures. This one contains the lowest details. I don't know why. Maybe it's because the shape is not that square-ish. It's more like curved on all those parts. But anyway, Watcher is alright. I like the details on Watcher. That's detailed enough. And then I think Strider is the best one in all those miniatures in core game. There are quite some parts on Strider that not just pure white. Actually, it's white and also this grayscale brown color-ish. So that's quite the miniature is detailed enough, and then all those structures are quite crispy. So I think Strider is the best detail. It's the miniature contains the best detail in all those core game miniatures. And then Scrapper, it's not as detailed as Strider, but the machine parts are quite, I don't know, I think those parts are exaggerated, so they are larger than the actual in-game model scale. So it's easier to enhance all those details. As for Shell Walker, it's large, and a lot of parts you can't really get the brush into that. And also if you've noticed the right arm, so it's lighting gun, I don't know if there are any ones that perfect, because my ones are all like that bit is just flat down completely. I have to re-sculpt it with green stuff. But anyway, here's the scraper miniature before painting and painted. Right, let's just get right into it. So as I said, the scraper has quite some parts exaggerated, so they're bigger than the actual in-game scale. That makes it easier to just outline all those parts and makes it look like really detailed. So that makes it well, even not as detailed as Shredder or other miniatures, it still can look nice with all those black outlines. So that's just base color. First, this is I believe this is the Xandri dust plus the Corax white. All the paints I've used are from Games Workshop, mainly just base paint, and then I believe I used one layer paint for the eyes, but the rest of them are just base paint. The brush I use currently is a broken Winsor Newton 7 series. I believe it's size 0. It's kind of broken, so I mainly use this as a dry brush. You can probably tell from the brush. Anyway, this is just applying base color. It's easy, it's quick. Just put the white on top of those parts. There's no skill at all. Anyway, after the base color, you would want to switch into a better brush that can actually outline stuff. A fine brush. Well, one thing you need to notice is the head bit. Those supposed to be symmetrical, but the model is not. I don't know if you can see it. It's this bit. What I did is I didn't fix the model. I simply paint the middle bit black. So and then because black and white, that's the strongest contrast. So you wouldn't notice that. So it's kind of fixed, but not physically, just visually. Anyway, that's the base color done. I need to swap into a quite fine brush. This is Artist Ops brush, size 0, I believe, or actually 00. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a small brush. So to split this part into 4 colors. So the middle bit is white, and then the parts next to it are the kind of light dust color, and on top bit it's a dark brown color, and then next to it that's a dark bluish metal color. So just separate the paints on both sides. And then you can probably see there is no detail at the moment at all. You can't really see anything from this point. It's just a bunch of paints, on the miniature altogether. You can't really see what's going on whatsoever. But once I finish the color separation and then apply the outline here, well, you can see there is a actual part coming out. The structure becomes clear once you apply the outline, and I think that's I'm not gonna say most important part on painting those machines, but that definitely helps, not just on Scrapper but all other machines. And also this bit, you can barely see the structure coming out because it's too small. The shadow just won't cast itself. You have to apply it by yourself. You have to enhance the shadows manually, so the structure can be seen. and also here. Basically outline every single shape you can see, and then just fix it if the outline's got too much. And then here there is a bit detail on this because it's not just flat white, it's actually dust on top and then white on the bottom on the original concept art and original game model. And then just boring outline work. Like I said, outline every single shape you can see, if you can do that. This may just enhance the shadows to make it easier to see what's going on, what is what. Keep applying those black lines over and over again. And all those small, I don't know, details, those dents, put them in black. Right? And then the structure here, you can probably see, if you don't outline this, you literally can't see anything. You can't even see if there's a thing going on here. It's flat, it's completely flat. You have to outline this to make it visible. Yeah, again, not just Scrapper, all the machines, you kinda need to outline those parts, those structures, to make it visible to people, to make it visible on tabletop, considering they're small miniatures. And then again, all those dents, put it black, make it looks like this details there. Obviously, if you want to go even further, use dry brush, apply some highlight, some white, slightly dry brush on top of the edges to make it look like more details, more like battle damage or anything like that. The backside of the legs, it's more like a I don't know, a muscle under those metal frames structure. So what I did here is paint them all gray, quite light gray, and then outline the metal frames. Same thing, just to enhance the structure, to make the detail visible on tabletop. And then if it's not too visible, just make it lighter. Use even lighter gray, and then apply the pure black outlines on those frames. You can probably get a better result with wash or contrast paint, but I couldn't be bothered, considering I don't really have any wash. I do have a contrast here though, but it's kind of sealed. I just couldn't bother to open that fresh bottle. Anyway, I paint all parts that not visible to black because it's not visible. So I didn't really paint any structures on the feet on the clouds, because those clouds are just no details at all. You can probably apply all them black and then slightly dry brush it but I don't know, I don't think you can even get details out of that. Those clouds are kind of just flat out, there is no detail at all, so I can't just leave them black there. And this is just repeat the process of this backside of the leg. It's mainly just outline work, literally. Just outline every single shape. You see, that's where I didn't get primed. That's the part I couldn't get primed because the position was kind of awkward. I literally just couldn't spray that part. I don't have airbrush, so it was just a sprayer. Anyway, just paint them black. It doesn't matter if it's sick or not. It's paint them black. You wouldn't be able to see them anyway. Now this is quite a crispy part. The details are actually quite nice here. So again, like the legs, put them in gray and then outline the structure. Well, here those I don't know what those are. It's like a chainsaw in the mouse, and then those are actually quite detailed. Just paint them black and then slightly apply some orange on top. It looks really nice. Alright, so that's the part I was talking about. Yep. And just outline all those. Outline every single shape. Now onto the eyes. Scrapper has quite interesting structure on the eye part. So that's four LEDs on each side. What I did here is just paint the eyes and the area in front of it all in blue. I believe the color was Temple Guard blue. That was a layer paint. And then outline the 4 LEDs. Outline 4 LEDs. Yep. The left side seems kind of blurred out, but you can still find 4 LEDs, 4 light spot. And then apply the blue again, just to enhance the structure. And finally, apply white in the middle of the eyeballs, if possible, or just don't paint it full white, but you do want to leave the blue color on the outside circle, so slightly point it on those eyeballs. Oh, I think I made 5 eyeballs there. I need to cover that. So here, that's the eyes down, and then the blue on the front would make it look like actually glowing. Right, here is fixing the head. Well, just paint it black. Fix it visually, not physically fix it. Now onto the orange part. The orange part is where all those weird details comes out. So that's the backpack Scrapper is carrying, and then those weird squares, you paint them orange. Those are just the parts that makes this machine looks, detailed. Well, you got this little orange spot here for God knows what it's for, and then you got this here, you got this here. It's just adding extra information onto the machine body. And then there's this, I don't know, the other structure on the tail bit. And then there's another small squaring orange, another small square orange in here. You would want slightly outline those structure as well. You know, it's a small mark to adding just adding more information on the body. You would want to outline those as well. And then the color of this backpack is not actually black, it's more bluish. That's too light, and that's about right. It's kind of discolored, so right. And then the thing in the middle, that's orange as well. And this. Right, I think that's all the orange part. On the side of the backpack as well. Alright, the chainsaw in the mouse, that's as well. And you outline this bit as well. You know, just outline every single shape you can see. Yeah, here I'm painting the feet just black. There's no details at all, so couldn't be bothered. This actually, there are some details on the forearm. There's quite another like metallic shell on top of the forearm, so that's something you can add on. And then outline the frames a bit. Yeah, paint the cloud black. Right, let's paint this chainsaw. Yeah, just slightly brush the top of this part. You get quite nice result. Because the structure is actually quite nice and it's quite sharp edged. It's not really blurred out, so just slightly paint on top of this. You get quite nice result. And continue to. Alright, I'm just applying black on those wires because they don't really get that much highlights. And then using black to separate all the parts, enhance the contrast. And here, that's pretty much done. That's what I call finish. Obviously, this is not 100% finished. There's tons of details you can still adding on the miniature, and then there's tons of colors you can use to enhance all those details. You know, adding battle damage, adding all those color transfer. So much more can be done on this miniature, but I couldn't be bothered. So that's the first one, second one, the third one I did. Scrapper. Right, so that's the all the miniature I've done so far. That's the one I just did, and then that's the one before, and that's the first one. You can probably tell I got quite strong outlines on the first one, and then slightly on second one, and then even more slightly on the third one. Yeah, it's alright. It look nice. I think it look nice. You can probably see I didn't do anything on the base because I'm just not the basing guy. I don't really, adding grass or dirt on the base. They sure adding a lot to the miniature, but I couldn't be bothered. And this is a shell worker. Again, outline a lot of information. All those marks are free-handed, but they're just triangles, so not really big deal. The colors on the arm are quite interesting. It's not fully white or fully blue. They're a combination of white blue. It's not from just white or from just blue. It's complex, and then all those parts you have to outline to make it visible. So that's the arm, and yeah, it's a shell worker. There's tons of things I didn't paint in this. The color it's still the same. I've used the Temple Guard blue for the arm and also the eyes, so you call it. And then the thing on the tank was just the regular blue mixed with some white and black. So that was the blue I've used for the tank. And then this was the blue I used for eyes and also the arm on shell walker. Yeah, so that's 2 watchers, 1 greaser, 2 striders, 3 scrappers, 1 shell walker, and 1 sawtooth. And that's what I've done so far. And I think I'll probably end here and then start actually playing the game. So yeah, I mean, I've read the rulebook. I've soloed once. I think it's alright. I think it would be more interesting with huge machines like Thunderjar, considering it has 8 AI cards, which Sawtooth only have 4. Shellwalker has 3 AI cards, and then the rest of them just 1 AI card. So I think definitely battle with huge machine would make this game interesting. But so far, just core game. What can I say? Anyway, this is Steamforged Games Horizon Zero Dawn board game. Right.